Abby, good to see you. Let's talk through Medicare basics and misconceptions. There are so many different enrollment periods with Medicare, and there are penalties if you miss your enrollment deadlines. October 15th kicked off the annual election period that runs through December 7th. So, first question, when are you eligible for Medicare, and what deadlines do you need to keep in mind?
So the age that you're going to want to make sure you have as your trigger age is 65.
Okay.
So you've got some time there. There's about 7 months where you can make this decision. The 3 months before your 65th birthday, the month of your birthday, and then 3 months after. If you don't make a choice by then, if you don't sign up for Medicare by that ending period, you will start to accrue a lifetime penalty that will continue even if you sign up in the 8th month or the 9th month after that period. There'll still be a penalty, and it will be there for the rest of your life. So
Right.
that catches some people by surprise, and there's literally nothing you can do about it, which is so disappointing if that's the case. Now, there's a caveat with this is if you're still working at 65, which more and more people are these days, and you're covered by a qualified health plan, then you don't have to necessarily go on to Medicare. You have a exemption at that point. So if you retire at maybe 67, 68 instead, then that's when that clock starts ticking. And that's when you have to start making those choices of what type of plan you're going to have and enroll in Medicare.
All right, let's get into the nitty gritty then. We know there are four parts to Medicare: A, B, C, D. I want to start, though, Abby, with parts A, B, and D. We'll come back to part C. What's in part A?
So part A is going to be your hospital coverage, and this is a no cost. Everybody is able to take advantage of this, and this is going to cover semi-private rooms, regular meals. This is hospital stays, medications, lab services, skilled nursing, home health care in certain circumstances, and then there's hospice care. Now, a big misconception that we like to educate people on is that this does not include long-term care. Medicare does not cover long-term care. So if you have a situation where you need home health care for an extended period of time, maybe a year or 2 years, that's going to have to come out of your assets. Medicare does not cover that. Or if you don't have assets, then that's when Medicaid kicks in. But there's a big difference there.
And how about part B?
So part B is going to be your doctor visits, outpatient care, home health care in certain circumstances. For example, if you have a surgery and you need PT, they might come to your home. My mom just had her knee replaced. They were able to, she was staying with me, so they came to my house. They actually delivered a bike to my house. She was able to do her exercises there. So this is where part B is going to come into play. And then, of course, your preventative care. It does not cover dental, vision, hearing, hospice care, prescription drugs, or like I just mentioned, any type of long-term care.
Right. And that's where part D comes in for those drugs. D for drugs.
Yes, D for drugs. Yeah. So this is going to be your prescription drug part of it. And this is just as it sounds, it's going to cover all your prescriptions that you have.
All right. So now, Abby, let's talk about part C. Some say you need it, others say you don't. That is the Advantage plan.
Yes. So part C, and this is where it gets really confusing. Just like with a lot of things the government does, it seems like it's maybe unnecessarily confusing, but it's really important to understand, and it's really important to work with somebody that can understand your unique situation and recommend the best option for you. So Part C is a Medicare Advantage plan, and this is essentially, without getting too into the weeds, kind of a package deal where you don't need a supplemental policy. So you have really one choice or the other. You're going to do either your Medicare Advantage, which is lower monthly costs and sometimes even a zero premium, but higher out-of-pocket costs if you're going to the doctor. So if you're going to the doctor or have a hospital stay, you could really incur a lot of costs if you're on a Medicare Advantage plan. Whereas with a supplemental plan, you have maybe a higher monthly premium, but much lower out-of-pocket costs for doctor visits, hospital stays, those type things. And this is really a unique, just like with everything in finance, it's dependent on your situation. It's dependent what drugs are you on? What doctors
Yeah.
are you visiting? Do you need a certain doctor that you're going to for something that you've been working with them for, decades? Do you have potentially a big hospital stay coming up? Do you need a knee replacement, a hip replacement? And this is where it really comes into play, working with somebody that does this all the time, that's seen everything there is to see, and that can recommend, unbiased, recommend this is a good fit for you, Medicare Advantage, or let's not do Medicare Advantage. Let's do Part D, Part A, B, D, and get a supplemental plan that's going to cover everything else.
Mhm. I do have a follow-up question to Part D. Explain how the Inflation Reduction Act changed Part D.
So the Inflation Reduction Act has essentially put more pressure on drug costs for retirees and for people that are on Medicare. So number one, it capped out-of-pocket drug costs. Next year, it's going to be a max of $2,000. So no matter what, you're not paying out of pocket more than $2,000 on your drugs. It also put into place some stipulations where drug prices have to be negotiated. It also put into place how much the Part D premium can increase every year for the next several years. So they're really trying to put pressure and make sure that drug costs are controlled. As we know, life-saving drugs like insulin, things like that, they can be and have been in the past so expensive. And if we're talking about people that are on Medicare who might be on a fixed income, that can be unaffordable, completely unaffordable. So that's the goal there. There have been a lot of shakeups in Medicare because of this. So it's really important that you go, especially right now, go look at your Part D coverage if you have that, and make sure that your drugs are still covered under your plan. If not, then you're going to need to maybe make a change there, as well as if you have a supplemental policy. It's now is the time to take a look at that, make sure it still makes sense, because sometimes they can cancel plans, they can pull out of the state, they can maybe not include your doctor anymore. A lot of different things can happen. And so now is a really good time to take a look at that with an expert. So we have strategic partners who are experts in Medicare. They're able to, at no cost to our clients, sit down with them, look at their unique situation, and then make a recommendation for whether they should stay the course on their current plans or help them make that first decision. It's so confusing.
So many options.
It's so confusing. Absolutely. And unless you have an expert that can really hold your hand and walk you through it, it's almost impossible to make those decisions confidently, at least. And this is one of those things that you do not want to find out in a year or two that you've made the wrong decision. It can be, tens of thousands of dollars of a mistake. And it goes into the rest of the financial plan as well. So making sure that your income plan, your retirement plan, and your health plan are all fitting together in this overall puzzle that is going to make sense and make sure that you can live a comfortable and happy retirement. Those are the three pieces to it.
Right. Well, I'm so glad we had the time to talk it through, because it kind of becomes very apparent how complicated this can be. So if somebody would like to speak with you about, again, answering all these questions and figuring out how it fits into their own financial plan, what's the best way to reach you?
You can always give us a call at 678-442-0255. Let us know what's on your mind, what you would like to talk to one of our fiduciary advisors about, and we'll get something scheduled for you to chat through those things. You can also visit our website at theretirementfamily.com. We have a lot of great resources on there that are updated frequently, and you can also send us a message. Let us know what's on your mind, what you would like help with, and we'll reach out and get something scheduled for you.
Great. Abby, thank you.
Thanks, Erin.